Let's take a look at the day ahead here at Capital OTB on this Friday, March 27th. Coming up here on the network and via Capital OTB TV as well, Capital OTB Bet. Friday's action, New York with Aqueduct, down in Florida, Gulfstream and Tampa. Oaklawn, they're in the midst of their Festival of the South, so have a nice stake down at Oaklawn today in the Fantasy, leading into big day tomorrow with Arkansas Derby. By the way, tomorrow on Racing Across America, do note, 9 a.m. start. We'll continue our talk with Brian Nadeau. We did that, started that today on Derby Deep Dive. Talked a little bit about the Florida Derby, but we'll continue our talk on Saturday stakes with Brian. And we also taped an interview with Nancy Holthus going over the stakes at Oaklawn. Again, Racing Across America early tomorrow, 9 a.m. That is because of an 11:30 start at Gulfstream tomorrow with their 14 race card. But again, Aqueduct, Gulfstream, Tampa, Oaklawn, Santa Anita in the mix today, Meadowlands, Mohawk, Yonkers, and Hoosier. A lot of great racing. Again, 9 a.m. start tomorrow for Racing Across America, and 9 a.m. start here at the Clubhouse Racebook as well. That will allow us to play out the Dubai World Cup card action. The Dubai World Cup itself kicks off at 7:45 a.m. There's a race at 8:20, race at 8:55. We open at 9. That will allow people to get in here in time for the UAE Derby, which is 9:30. The Dubai World Cup itself go off at about 12:45. So a lot of great action very early, and that leads us to open the race book tomorrow. 711 Central Avenue in Albany, 9 a.m. opening tomorrow. And because the Arkansas Derby goes off a little bit later, we'll stay open until 9 at night. So 9 to 9 tomorrow. Clubhouse Racebook, 711 Central Avenue in Albany. And again, it is a nice big day down in Dubai, Gulfstream, Oaklawn. But as I noted, Oaklawn today on this Friday, the Fantasy, a grade 2 event for $1 million, 3-year-old fillies, mile and a 16th. Check your scratches, but it seems like a sure thing that Explorer is going to be scratched for Bob Baffert. Had won the Honeybee, back to Southern California, came back to Oaklawn, seemed to have a little bit of an elevated temperature, had to treat the horse with the antibiotics, and so Explorer likely out of the Fantasy, which then leads to Counting Stars. So 2 races back in the Martha Washington, just an absolute head scratcher there, but followed it up with a rebound back to her good form for our friends at West Point and Mark Cassie with a close-up second to Explorer in the Honeybee. She'll go this afternoon in the Fantasy. Short field in here. Search Party may be a little bit interesting also from Mark Cassie. Sticker Shock for Brad Cox could be a player as well. The Fantasy goes off as race 11 at Oaklawn. 5:54 is the 5:54 is the scheduled post time locally. Our time here in upstate New York will be about 6:54 scheduled post time. And some news. I think I mentioned yesterday. Bob Baffert has announced he'll have a string at Churchill this year, but he also announced next season he's going to have a string down at Oaklawn. Still going to be based out in Southern California, but he said, I'm going to have barns at Churchill and Oaklawn going forward. So interesting news there. I think it kind of reflects maybe the overall situation in Southern California as much as anything. But as I say, interesting news there. Let me update you on what is coming up as far as mandatories and carryovers. Today, Friday, at Santa Anita, speaking of Southern California, $58,000 pick 6 carryover, $58K up for grabs, pick 6 carryover at Santa Anita this afternoon. Tomorrow, Saturday, Mohawk Woodbine on the sulky side of things. They will have a mandatory in their jackpot high 5. It's a 20-cent increment. You have to pick the first 5 finishers. But again, at 20 cents, you can put together maybe a little pyramid, make a pick up on top, get clever up there, and then maybe spread going down. And you can keep it reasonable at the 20 cents. But again, it's a mandatory tomorrow, Saturday, Woodbine Mohawk with their jackpot high 5. That will be race number 13. And Sunday is a mandatory at Gulfstream Park with the Rainbow 6. So if you like that mandatory at the Rainbow coming up Sunday at Gulfstream. All right, today here at the Clubhouse Racebook, Players Bankroll. Certainly invite you to stop on by and see if you can get on the Players Bankroll team. 711 Central Avenue in Albany, the same spot for the match bet promotion tomorrow. So a little extra fun Friday and Saturday. Clubhouse Racebook, 711 Central Avenue in Albany. That's the day ahead and more here at Capital OTB.